Hello all, today's November 1st, 70 plus degrees here up in upstate New York, beautiful day, but the wind's blowing very hard. And what we're going to do today, I think I'm going to try and put in my my winterizing kit. It's very windy out, so when I do this I'm going to kind of do it in segments due to the wind. I don't know how it's going to affect the video. So I will do in segments and then I'll just piece them all together, so you will see some gaps in there. So that's what we're going to do today. I ordered this one off eBay. It was like 17 bucks shipped, so it's about the same in the stores, maybe a little less. So like I said, they do have the directions on the back side. I'm going to get a big view of that. They do have the directions, so being a guy, I don't read the directions, but I will in this instance. So when I get to we'll get to the outside of the rig and I'll show you where everything is, and we'll continue from there. Alright, here we are at the driver's side rear. There's your compartment for your electric. Now, going up underneath, right there is your drain tube. It's right behind your electrical connection box. I don't know if the older ones have it, but these newer ones do. So from there, just forward, maybe 3 feet, maybe not even that far, there's this little panel. They got it held in by some screws. And that is where your water pump is. And so I'm going to pop this cover off and give you a look inside. Alright, there we go. Now that that panel's off, it's got this little extra material here, so you just look it down, and there's your pump, screen filter. So we're gonna go from there. I'm hoping I can hook this up since I've only looked at it once, and we'll see if we can get that winterizing kit in. So I'm gonna do a little investigating here, and we'll see where it goes from there. Alright, and further investigation here, that PEX tube, or whatever they call it, what they've done is they've got a permanent clamp on it, and with that on there I cannot unscrew the filter screen. So what I'm going to do is cut that PEX, or cut that tube, and then I'll just use a regular clamp once I go to reattach it. That's the only way I'm going to get it off. I tried unscrewing it, but you can't unscrew it enough to get it off, so I'm going to cut that off, and we'll continue on from there. Okay, as you can see in there, the hose right there, that's where I cut it off. I cut it right off at the fitting for the filter. Your little glass filter goes onto here, or plastic filter with the screen. So now I've got to take that clamp that they have there and rip that thing off, because it's not going to be usable. So that'll be the next step. Alright, there's the part of the new kit, and there's where the filter is. Took me a little bit to get it where I like the way it fit. There's a cross member up in here. There's a cross member, I don't know if you can see it, right there underneath the hose. Now, I don't know if I'm going to have enough clearance there, so that's what I'm kind of looking at next. Make sure all my clearance is correct. So I'm going to look into that for a little bit and see what I find. Alright, after some further investigation, I just trying this, putting it together a couple different ways to see how it would fit. Now here's the new adapter that you put onto your pump here. I tried it a couple different ways. This seemed to work easier. Now what I ended up doing is taking some of this bottom piece out, or this bottom material, took a bolt out over here and just pulled it down so I had a little more access. It's still going to be very tight, but I think it's going to fit because they've got a cross member there, and the way that cross member sits, it's a little tough to manipulate it up in there, so I decided to pop the panel down. I did have to take the insulation off the end of the drain tube, which I will just blow in some new stuff. So we're going to try it this way. and see how if I can get up in there to finish it off. Not very easy, definitely not as easy as my motorhome was. So we're gonna give it a try and see how she fits all together. Okay, all right, I've got the new winterizer piece put in, the brass, and then the coupler. Now a little further back there, a little hard to see, I took the filter, and it took a little time to get it on there. It's kind of an awkward spot, but I got it on there, and I actually did turn the bowl up to just past 45-degree angle. And I prefer to do it that way because I don't like the water sitting in there. I mean, if you drain your tank, you still have residual water. I did when mine was pointing down towards the ground when I took it out, and there was still water in it. So there's always a risk of a crack. So I decided to put it up at an angle. So even if a little water does get in there, hopefully it'll not cause an issue. I've got here's where I'm going to hook my hose. I've got that out sitting in the sun right now. Soften it up a little bit. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up the white hose to the water white hose there. And then I'm going to put a little water in the tank, and I'm going to run it and see if we have any leaks or anything like that. So hopefully we won't. Most of this stuff's just hand tight. That's as tight as they want you to do it anyway. When you are dealing with plastic for the most part, except for your new brass winterizer there. So you don't want to over tighten it, but you want to make sure it's tight enough. So I'll get that white hose hooked up and throw a little water in her, and we'll take a look, see if she's leaking. Alright, well, we got her all installed. I didn't have any leaks. I went a little heavy on the sealant tape, and no problems. I was able to get the clamp to attach the hose, so that's good. I can button this up. Now I'm going to move up to the front, and there's shutoffs behind the panel that I found, so we'll look at those next. Okay, here I am in the bay. It's a little tight here to be videoing, but you have your shutoffs. You have one here, and you have one back in there. I don't know if you can see it. Yep, just a little bit right there. Now that's the one that shuts off your keeps the water from going in your tank. Up there's your hot water shutoff. A little hard to see in here. So I did run it when I was running the system. I was wondering why it was taking so long, and of course then it dawned on me that, oh, there's a shutoff. So I had to find it, and I did. So I'm going to shut it off just to make sure. I'm going to run my pump and run it through the system, so I know I've got no water left in there when I'm done in the hot water tank. Also, what I did find is my tank flush hose. Now, when they had that jammed in there, let's see if we can get over there to see that. What they did is they had it in there and it's kinked. So I've got to do something with that. I was wondering why the tank flush wasn't as powerful as it should be, and sure enough I found out why. If you look at the hose there, it's a little kinked. And it was kinked a little bit up here at the top where it's right in here. So I'm going to deal with that. And well, first we're going to go back and make sure I don't get any more water in the hot water tank, because we don't want to leave water in there, and we don't want antifreeze in there because that would be bad. So we're going to do that, and we'll see how that works. Okay, I did verify those. I was not getting any water in the hot water tank. That's, like I say, that's the hot shut off, and down here is the cold. I want to get a good shot of it here. Right back there in the background, that's your cold shut off. So now I'm going to go ahead and start pumping some water. I've drained most of the water out of the system, so I'm going to pump some antifreeze into it and get it into the system and go from there. Alright, we're pumping antifreeze into her now. I did make an error though. When I was installing the new valve in there, when I was putting everything together, just dry fitting it, I neglected to turn it around, so I put it in backwards. So I had to take it back out and put it in the right way. So well, we're pumping antifreeze in little by little here, and hopefully we'll get her all winterized. So I'm going to go inside and we'll see what we've got at the at all the faucets and also the washer. So we'll give it a minute, let the lines fill in, and I'll go inside. Okay. It's kind of a pain with that winterizing kit. But there we go, we got some pink there coming out of the outside. Now, work our way inside. That hose, it's just not, it stays coiled, so we have a hard time getting it down into the gallon jugs and having it hold there, so it takes a little finagling. There's the spitting a little bit. Well, it's getting better. Looking pretty pink, like it should. There we go. That's good. That's good there. Now we'll go in here into the bathroom and the sink. A little bit pink. Come on. Yeah, I like to get a lot in there so it fills the traps and everything else. Those are my main concerns. Get that water sitting in those traps, that's more apt to crack in the freezing weather. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I might have to go out and check the gallon jug again. But we'll be right back. Okay, I did have to change jugs. It's a lot easier with two people. But since my wife's working today, I have to tackle it myself. So we'll wait till we get enough in there, make sure we got the line filled. Still got some air in there from when I drained them. It's not bad, not bad. Now, get some in the shower here. Yeah, there's still a lot of air in the line still, so she's still working her way forward. Oh, it's pink already there, so that's good. Make sure we get plenty down in the traps. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I think I've used about a little more than a gallon. Gotten it this far. Yep, see, still got air. So let me go and check the gallons again. Okay, now we're getting a better flow. Say that hose isn't very good that comes with the kit. It's it has memory, so it's coiled up in a roll, and sometimes it works its way down into the jug, and then it coils up, and of course once you drain some out, it doesn't pull any more antifreeze in. So still got some air in the line. Okay, now we do the toilet. Get the air out, get some fluid in there. Doesn't hurt to have a little extra in the tank. There will be some residual water in there anyway. we're going to do the washer. It's pulling in water. Taking a little time for the stuff to get up here. This is always the hardest one. I had the same problem in our motorhome. It took a while to get the water up here once you drained everything out of the lines and then put the antifreeze to it. So we'll give it a minute and see if we can get water up here. Okay, right now it's pumping out. We're doing a rinse spin type thing. So once it pumps out, and make sure I got enough in the pumps. That should be pretty good. She's pumping it out right now. So I'll go in the tank, protect the tank a little, and we'll bypass it. Alright, I drained out the washer, added some more antifreeze to it. There's a little bit down in the bottom. I'm happy with that, so I don't have any issues. I'll go back through the rig and just double check everything, make sure we got plenty. We're good in the shower. I know the sink is good. And the toilet. And we're good. We're done with that. Like I said, this is a lot easier with two people. It's easier to communicate, keep track of the antifreeze. My problem was, like I said, with the hose was an issue. Hose was an issue, and it would keep curling up in the gallon jug. So I had to keep stopping. Sorry we had to stop and go on this video, but it's the way it works with one person. So I think we're good. I'm satisfied. So hopefully we don't have any problems. I don't think we will. I've done this a few times on the motorhome. First time with this one, but I went through like close to 5 gallons. I did waste. Obviously I did waste some. So it's to be expected. I'd rather have too much. For what it costs, it's a lot cheaper than having to go to a repair shop and replace broken lines and drains and all of the other good stuff. So yeah, I've gone through about 5 gallons. I had a little extra from last year that was left over. I will put this all back together tomorrow because it's late. And so I'm happy. Everything's good. I do have an appointment to take her to the to get the skylight replaced, and that'll probably be the last thing I'll do with her. Everything else, she's been cleaned and cleaned out, and getting ready to put to bed for the winter. As much as we hate to do it, I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way. So, well, we'll see how this video show comes out. Like I said, it's a long process by yourself, especially first time in the rig. Getting to know the inner workings and how everything is done. So I hope this helps some people out if they need to do it. I know a lot of people are full-timing with it, but there are people like us who haven't hit the road yet. Hopefully next year, and hopefully I won't have to do this again. So thanks for watching. I hope it was helpful, and we'll see you in the next video.